everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Gym Rats. As always, it is me, XFL Jim. Joined, of course, by the man himself, Uncle Rico, a.k.a. Eric.
You want it? I'm going to give it to you right now.
Let's make some money chiming in. This tournament has sucked.
I'll tell you what. So here's my thing. Everyone wants a Cinderella. If McQueen didn't hit that shot, Colorado State would have been that Cinderella to make it to the Sweet 16. Everyone would have loved. And also, UC San Diego shit the bed for the first half. Couldn't make shit. Their best player fouled out with 15 minutes left. And they had two bunnies to win the game and missed them. If one of those two things happen and there's that quote-unquote Cinderella, I don't think people are pissed off.
Maybe, but also, it hasn't been as much of the Cinderellas as it's been like a lot of the blowout games for me.
Yeah.
Because, like, what did we say? Like, the opening round wasn't Cinderella happy. It was like, oh, we'll get a sick round of 32, and then blowouts in the round of 32. Oh, it's going to be an awesome Sweet 16. Blowouts in the Sweet 16. Oh, we got an awesome Elite 8. No. I mean, there's been, like, some games sprinkled here and there, but...
Michigan State, Auburn, they made it tight. They made it.
That was a good one.
They made it interesting toward the end. Cincinnati, Houston was brutal. Was absolutely brutal. I'm trying to think what the other game was. The Purdue Houston game was good. That game was pretty good. And the Sweet 16.
I feel like you can count on one hand.
Yeah, there's been no real drama. Like
now,
what is the freaking? Are they just going to show the Colorado State game in what is the One Shining Moment video?
Oh, they're just going to show that?
They're just going to show that. That's all they're going to show.
Just the entire game.
Just the entire game. That's it.
Eric, I have hope for the Final Four because I believe you probably know. So this is probably like the chalkiest Final Four of all time, but potentially maybe the most stacked.
These guys, when you look at Ken Pom, and like I'm not the biggest Ken Pom guy. I use it for some stuff. We need to remember they don't take into consideration injuries, and there's definitely some holes to Ken Pom. But they're all of them are in the top 10.
I was gonna say, do you know the rankings of these four teams in the Ken Pom ratings?
They're all like top 10 teams.
Yes. So Ken Pom's been doing it since what, 96, 97?
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. So Duke this year is number 2. The Houston Cougars are number 6. The Florida Gators are number 8. And Auburn is number 10. All from this season.
Pretty solid, dude.
Do you know who number 1 is, Eric?
Of all time?
Yeah, according to Ken Pom. So, like...
Probably some Duke team.
Yeah, 98, 99 Duke.
98, 99 Duke. Jesus, who was on that team?
I couldn't tell you. And then number 3 is 2000, 2001 Duke. So the top 3 teams are all Duke.
Of course they are, dude.
And then number 4 is 2014, 15 Kentucky.
1998, 99 Duke team.
Jeff chiming in, Cinderella's ruined by NIL. That's what I've seen a lot of takes online about NIL ruining college basketball.
But I mean, we're gonna have to see like what happened with Drake, a deep team that like bumps up and kind of stays together.
And also, I'm willing to give it a couple more years of kind of seeing how it plays out. Because we've only had real NIL for, 2 years now?
Yeah.
So,
and who knows, there's supposed to be the salary cap coming in. And
well, the salary cap's not for NIL. It's for, it'll be what the schools can, it'll be like the schools can actually pay players.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a cap on that. I don't know what you do. I mean, people argue it's the NIL plus the transfer portal. What might end up happening, because it might like solve itself, is you might have like guarantees in these NIL contracts that you have to stay for 2 years or more.
Yeah.
You might start having things like that.
Which would be great. I mean, but then you get someone like Trey Holloman, who is supposed to be this like dog, the only player in Izzo's history not to be a senior and kiss the S. he leaves, and everyone's like up in arms that as a Michigan State fan. But at the end of the day, maybe another school is going to offer him more money than Michigan State would, and maybe Michigan State had like, you know what, Trey, you're a $300,000 player. That's all we can afford for you. And if Team X is going to offer $500,000 for Trey Holloman, that's just the way it is. And like, he's not going to play pro, but you know what I mean? Like,
I like how you said Trey Holloman's name there. I like the way you said it.
But it's Trey Holloman. You know what I mean? We're talking Trey. If freaking Trey Holloman can go somewhere to get an extra $2K, he deserves it. So
I agree.
Kid, these people that are knocking the kid, and I'm a Michigan State guy, you would do the same thing. Your kids would do the same thing. As a marginal basketball player, for his last couple of years, going to probably make an extra $500,000 to start his life.
You got to maximize your revenue in college, especially if you're not going to be a pro guy.
Especially if you're Trey Holloman.
Especially if you're a guy like Trey Holloman, dude. So, Eric, we got 2 major games today, and then we also have 2 NCAA tournament games today. I'm, of course, talking about the Crown. Yep. My boys, Nebraska in the Final Four. They're doing it. They're winning the whole thing.
Tough game against Boise State, dude. Tough game against Boise State.
It's the first game they're not favored in this tournament.
Tough game against Boise State, man. How worried are you?
Eric, I've been riding high this whole tournament. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm playing with house money.
You're playing with house money, dude?
I'm playing with house money. I'm feeling real good. So the real game number 1 is going to be Florida versus Auburn. Florida is a 2.5-point favorite, over under 159.5 plus 137 on the money line for the Tigers.
So I have a couple bets.
I have one, and I said screw it. Give me Auburn. Give me Auburn straight up.
Okay. All right. So my first bet is I went to a player prop, Jim. This is the first ever player prop for college.
Ooh.
I went Elijah Martin over 13.5 points. Second leading scorer for Florida this season and in the tournament. He's gone over 13.5, 3 of the 4 tournament games. Increased shot volume, averaging 14 shots per game in the tournament, up from 11.3 in the regular season. I think Auburn is going to focus its attention on Creighton, creating better matchups and more open looks for Martin. We need to remember he's the only player on Florida's roster that has been in the Final Four because he was there for FAU a couple years ago. I think they're going to lean on him, due for some positive shooting regression after his worst shooting game of the tournament, 3 of 10, 0 of 4 from deep. Now, I have another bet in this game. Would you like me to go into that, my friend?
Lay it on me, baby.
I took Florida -1.5 for the first half. In the SEC and NCAA tournament, Auburn is 1-5 ATS. Their lone cover came against Michigan State, which has been even worse than Auburn to start doing. In March to close the season, this is just regular season in March, 1-4 ATS first half. If you look at March and February, 4-8-1 ATS. They just are starting slow, and it's been since February. I'm getting Florida -1.5. I'm just going to take the trend here, and I will fade Auburn to start the game for the first half, and then once I can get a better number, I'll look to get invested on Auburn live.
I'm trying to find the odds currently for what it would be for a Florida first half, Auburn full game money line. Let me see. Oh, Eric, by the way, off topic, but I was getting hammered on the slots yesterday. Decided for the first time in my life, I bought a bonus.
You bought a bonus, okay.
I bought a bonus, $200 to buy the bonus.
Yep.
I won $84.
$200 to buy the bonus.
I got $84.
Jesus, Jim.
It was brutal. Okay, I think I have it here.
Was that during your stream?
Time. Yeah. Okay. Florida, Auburn. So Florida first half, Auburn second half, Auburn full game, plus 530.
I like that.
Plus 530. I'll hop on that. I will hop on that for sure. I also messed around. I just took Auburn straight up. I think Everyone's on Florida. Florida's the hottest team in the country. There's a reason Auburn was #1 overall coming into the tournament, and I think they're going to be fully healthy. I like your slow start angle though.
But I mean, it's bet like I think you can get a better. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look to get in them live. But I will say this. Yeah, dude. Jim, I went on one on the podcast.
What was the rant?
Just about the state of the gambling world.
Okay. You gotta fill me in because I was busy that night. I didn't get to tune into the ETOF 21 Sports podcast.
Well, this was that
was okay.
I did it Tuesday and Friday because I have something that comes out Friday, something that comes out Tuesday. Just basically about how back in the day it used to be like finding the best number. You'd bet 1 or 2 plays, maybe 4 a day. On a day. Now it's just about you have these people putting out home run plays for plus 280. Do we understand how random fucking home runs are? And people are betting plus 280 to fucking hit a home run. Literally, how fucking dumb can you be? Fucking people putting out these parlays where there's 10 different things. So you get these oversized, freakish athletes on a court, on a field with a ball. And you need 10 things to happen to break even. Like, it's just idiotic. Like, if you're going to do a parlay, at least have it where you're like aiming for the fences, where it hits, you get something. But for so many things to happen, now you got this dude, the guy's fucking Keebler the Elf, like posting fucking fights, and like they're supposed to be gambling creators. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, dude, I saw the gambling creator like boxing match.
It is such a toxic space. You have the CBC, like the Crown, and these sports books can't even fucking get in order their paperwork so you can bet on this legally. Now, I said, like, in my prediction, 5 years, DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, all those sites, like, are going to be dead. Just because, like, for me, okay, case in point for me, I wanted to bet Elijah Martin 43-1 this morning to win most outstanding player.
Okay.
I wanted to put $100 on it. I lined up on FanDuel. Couldn't do it. So I'm here trying to do it. Can't do it. But we see all these influencers and everything put out $50,000 bets. We see Portnoy put out, oh, dude, I put 50 grand on this game. You got little old me. I can't put fucking $100 on Elijah Martin 43-1 to win fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it's just all a dog and fucking pony show. For me to put that number down, I had to fucking call my mom this morning. And like, I shockingly have to do this a lot. She puts fucking 25 from her FanDuel account on it. My old man puts 25 from his FanDuel account. I got my neighbor that looks like fucking Along Came Mary girl with the fake tan. She put on 25. And then my brother puts on 25 for me. That's literally how I had to bet Elijah Martin this morning. Because they wouldn't let me do it. They would let me put on $5 fucking bucks on Elijah Martin, 43-1 to win MVP.
It's disgusting. That's disgusting. Do you think that would make like offshores kind of have a little bit of a comeback?
Offshores are going to have a comeback, but I think this peer-to-peer openly prop hex, which I do work with, I think we're going to see those guys become more of the.
We need the street corner guy. We need the guy with his notepad.
Dude, when I first moved out to Chicago, I got hooked up with this guy, and it was great. I would have to go to these random places in the city. You know, to me, I'd have a different person come up and just say, "Hey, are you Eric?" No, they wouldn't even say this. They're like, "Hey, are you?" And they say my client number, and I'm like, "Yeah." And then they just hand me an envelope. Now I can't pull it out in the middle of Chicago and count my fucking money. I'd be holding my money so I don't get jacked, going back to my car, and then fucking take off because it's always in a shitty neighborhood, and then counting my money once I got on the expressway.
That needs to make a comeback.
No, that's the good old days, Jim. God. And you know what? We are never going to get there, dude.
Jeff chiming in. No college player props in Ohio. I hate living in
someone
Ohio.
Tweeting me that. That's just insane. But again, in Ohio, you can use Prop X. You can go to download Prop X, promo code ETOFT21. You get 2% back, and you can use them there, dude, or use Bet openly. Like that's what I'm saying. Those prop exchanges, those are going to be the future of the game.
Prop betting.
No, not prop betting. Those like
Just-
peer-to-peer betting exchange and offshore. Sure.
Okay. Game number 2, Eric. Any other takes for the Florida Auburn game?
No.
I'm more excited for that one because I feel like it has the chance to be like back and forth close, more so than Houston Duke. Duke is a 5-point favorite, over under of 136.5, plus 250 on the money line for Houston. I feel like the only way Houston gets this win is by mucking it up and playing really hard defense. But it feels like Duke's the best team in the country to me.
All right, so I have 2 bets on this game. Okay.
I got one. I got technically 2. I took
got
Houston
3.
plus 5 and straight up. Those are my only bets.
I got 3.
Okay.
So bet number 1, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Houston and Duke under 63.5 for the first half. Neither team likes to run. Both teams play at a slow pace. Houston, 4th slowest pace in the country. Duke, 297. 3 of 4 of Houston's tournament games have gone under this total. Houston is 20-15-1 to the first half under the season. Calvin Sampson is going to look to limit possessions. He's really going to milk that clock. When we have teams playing in a football stadium with the depth perception and the fans, often there's struggle shooting the ball. Players will be nervous, leading to slower play, more missed shots. I'm expecting both teams to struggle with the step up defensively, leading to some negative shooting regressions, which both teams are due for. We need to remember these are the 2 best defenses that these teams have played against. So I think it's going to be a lot harder for them to get stuff going offensively. And lastly, I took Duke. No, I took Houston, excuse me. I took Houston plus 5.5 and plus 225 on the money line. To me, this is men against boys. Houston, 11th best offensive rebounding team in the country per Bartolovic. Houston has been elite defensively. Duke has been elite defensively, but Houston's ability to generate second chance points will be crucial in a slow-paced game. Duke facing a major uptick defensively, shot 54% against the floor, 40% from 3 in their last game. Haven't faced a defense like this since they played Clemson, where they did lose to Clemson during the regular season. I think they're due for some negative shooting regression. Houston, number 1 team in the country, opponents' points per game, 3 in opponents' field goal shooting percentage. Sampson, 56% ATS is an underdog in Final Fours. When we have 2 number 1 seeds facing off against each other, the underdog is 72.7% ATS over the last 20 years. Since 1978, a coach with more Final Four experience, which Sampson's has. This is Shire's first Final Four. 70-44 straight up, 61-52-1 ATS in the Final Four national championships. When we look at Sampson versus Shire, coaches with 2 or more Final Four appearances, which Sampson's has, are 10-6 ATS as underdogs against a coach making his first Final Four. Unlike previous years, Houston has Cryer and Sharp able to generate offense and grind it out games. They shoot 39.7% from 3, 4th best in the country. Also, both teams play at a slower pace, so it's going to, you know what I mean? The slower pace is going to limit possessions. So I want points in a game that's slower pace. When we look at the projection models, Ken Pond projects this as a 2-point Duke win. Hazelmetrics projects this: Duke 66.65, Houston 66.29. Basically a pick 'em. Bartolovic as Houston, number 1 team in the country, yet they're 5.5-point underdogs. Since 2020, Houston has been an underdog 6 times, 4-2 straight up, 5-1 ATS, covering by 8.4 points. Houston has the defense, the rebounding, the shot creation, and the 3-point shooting to hang with Duke. Duke's facing a major defensive test. Betting trends, pace of play, advanced metrics, and the number all point me to Houston plus 5.5, and on the money line plus 225. Also, I put a little bit on Sharp at 25-1 to win most outstanding player.
Eric, I love it when you talk numbers at me. I love it. I think Houston mucks it up. I did a same game parlay as well of Houston straight up in the under.
Look at you, dude.
I did it. Plus 450. Sorry. Yeah, it was plus 450. That was my favorite bet. Also, nerd alert for you.
Yeah, buddy, you know what? I own it. I own it.
And you got a round robin. You know I have a round robin.
My round robin is a multi-sport round robin.
Whoa, Eric. Okay. Lay it on me.
So we'll start with the Final Four. What we did is we did Martin to score 20 points.
Okay.
Houston money line. Then we're shifting our attention to the UFC. We're taking Alan Carr on the money line. Then we're going to shift our attention to MLB, and we're taking Campbell from the Red Sox over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs.
I like what I'm hearing. No UFL? Can't get that in there? That's fine.
You know what, dude? I almost fucked around. I almost put
The Showboats?
the Showboats first half.
So I got mine right for you. Mine's all basketball.
Yeah, lay it on me, big dog.
We're rolling with Nebraska in the crown over Boise State plus 130.
No, respect.
I'm rolling UCF over Villanova too.
You think the Nova Magic's just gone?
I think this dries out now. They're moving on. They're looking forward to the 2025-2026 season. I'm taking Auburn over Florida. I'm taking Houston over Duke. I'm taking the Atlanta Hawks over the Knicks tonight. And will it let me? Will they let me? I'm taking South Carolina over UConn in the women's national championship.
Really? No luck.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen what Paige is doing?
Dude, she's actually going so crazy. They're going insane.
I mean, like, she's just, dude, that was the top team in the country. They were a 2 seed, and they beat them by like 43?
Yeah, the women's tournament is always like wild with scores like that.
I'm still pissed because I had the money line against fucking Iowa last year, and they should have won.
Our friends over at Bet Online will actually not let me include the women's NCAA game on there. So, just a 5-teamer. That's disgusting.
National Casual Fiber.
Yeah, so it's plus 9786. Let's make some money asking. What do you guys think of Willard to Nova and Williams to Maryland?
All right, so I'll let you go first. Then
I think Willard was obviously, like he said, he wanted Maryland to do a bunch of things. I think he was always going to leave. I think he was always going to go back to the Big East. Obviously, I think he could have done it better, but I think he was always gone. I think he's a pretty good coach.
I think he's a little overhyped.
I mean, probably like a little bit. I think he's like good. I don't think he's a great coach. He's good. I'd call him good.
Top 5, top 10, or top 15. Where would you have him? Or none of the above?
Top 20, maybe?
Yeah, barely.
I mean, what he's done at Maryland has been nice. Maryland's been down for a little while.
Mm.
They had been, Eric. Come on.
Yeah.
You know they've been down. What do you think? Also, Williams is a good move for Maryland. That is a good get.
So
I do like that.
I look at it like this. I think that he went there because he knows that they're going to have more money in this NIL world we're living in.
Yes.
And that he wanted certain things. There was that press conference when he talked about how they couldn't spend an extra night in New York. So right there, that was kind of when you could tell there was a little rift-raff going on. He was a little bit disappointed. And then I thought he was going to stay when the AD left to go to SMU.
Yeah.
Like, that's a downgrade from Maryland to SMU. That's a downgrade for an AD. But I thought, hey, you know what? They're going to leave. They're going to give Willard what they want. But I guess they just didn't.
I think he was always gone. I don't think he could, like, he did mention that they seem to be caring recently more about football than basketball. But
yeah. And then the Williams thing, I think Buzz kind of has it figured out. Like, he just stays at a place for like 5-7 years, like takes it from like mediocre, from dog shit to like middle of the pack mediocre, Sweet 16. And then he's like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to leave so you guys don't get sick of me and I keep my value. Because when you look at, he was at Marquette. He took Marquette to how many final? He had Marquette in a great place.
Yep.
Left, went to Va Tech. Va Tech was awful in the ACC. Got them competitive got them in a Sweet 16. I think they even won an ACC tournament when he was a coach. Left, went to Texas A&M. He got Texas A&M was a great team this year. They should have made the Sweet 16, and I really think they would have beat Auburn if they didn't choke against Michigan. They were plus 500 live at one point in that game against Michigan. So it's just his psyche, and he's going to be at Maryland for 7 years.
Yep.
And then he's going to probably go out for like Arizona State and get Arizona State relevant. But that's just what he does.
Just travels the country raising programs.
But it's smart because it's like he gets you to that point, and then he's like, you know what? This is probably the best I can do here. My value is high. I'm going to go because Texas A&M, it's never going to be a basketball school.
No. Maryland though, basketball school.
Maryland, you could be a basketball school. And like, you look at what they did. They put together a solid roster this year with the guys that they had. And they shit the bed against Florida. Florida just ran them out. I thought they were a little underseeded as a 4 seed. But, I think Buzz is going to do the same thing. He's going to go to Maryland. He's going to get them to a couple Sweet 16s, and then
maybe an Elite 8 here and there. Yeah,
maybe he can get to the Elite 8 and then he's going to bail for him. But I don't know. It's just been a circle. I think that's a great hire. There's a little noise about Oates. That was the one that little surprised me. It wouldn't surprise me if we eventually see Nate Oates move on. Like if a school like
I just don't think there's that many programs that he would leave for. He has such a good spot right there. And they've been cooking.
But then why how did that get out there? That doesn't get out there. You're not
maybe. Sources. I don't know. I don't see it.
You know what I mean? You're not going to have multiple sources like say, "Hey, you know what? Oates."
That's where there's smoke there's fire situation.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That'd be a weird move in my mind.
You don't like that move?
I just weird, like ACC to Big Ten or SEC, I get because the money's going to be crazy different. But like SEC to Big Ten or Big Ten to SEC, your money's not going to be that drastically different. And are you going to have that many more resources?
But if the salary cap, if the NIL, like you get X, okay? Let's say. Just listen to me. Georgetown's supposed to have heavy pockets. Cooley gets fired. But you know what I mean? Like, if let's say it's $20 million, would you go to Georgetown where you'll get $20 million in NIL money because there's no other sport that takes it? Or would you stay at Alabama where of that $20 million, you probably get what? 5? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. I see what you're saying now.
So, if I don't know. Just a thought, dude. Just a thought. I could talk about this forever as long as I talk about losers on social media with their
I'm excited for the Final Four. I'm excited for more Uncle Rico takes on the state of like online gambling content creators.
Yeah.
Are there any that you like? Are there any online gambling content creators you like out there?
You, and I have a phenomenal fucking idea for you. I forgot to tell you beforehand. I'm going to tell you afterhand about. I like you. I like Chase. I always like Gino. I think our buddy Kyle from Bet US, I think he does a great job with the stuff he does. Trying to think who else. I like Wade. I like my boy Wade. I think he does some good stuff. Money Badger, he's a very underrated guy, but he's not doing video stuff. Wade and Money Badger and Kyle, those are just kind of guys that just put out bets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of the guys that I see just put out like picks or whatever.
Or they'll do like, hey guys, this is what I'm betting today with a reason.
Yeah.
They're not doing like stupid mundane shit where they're like boxing, And then they talk so fucking big. It's like, dude, I don't care, man. I don't
those guys are getting paid by like books and stuff too.
I know. And the sports books are not your fucking friends, people. They give a rat's fucking ass. The fact I had people tail my Butler bet and they're sending me screenshots of like DK paying out a Butler winner but playing out a Utah loser. So if your bet won, you just got a refund. But if your bet lost, they just took your money. They give a rat's ass about you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't care.
No.
It's an interesting time to be alive in the sports betting community. I didn't really get into sports betting until like 2014, 2015. So I've only been in it for about 10 years.
I've been in it a long time, and this is the worst state. Like 10 years ago when I was on social media just posting bets, dude, it was fucking phenomenal, dude.
Eric, are we gonna have to box somebody?
No. Dude, I have no idea. Someone just connected to my printer and is printing something out right now.
I heard. Is that what that notification was?
Yeah, like literally, like there's something printing out on my printer right now. And
someone sent you someone. Well, we're gonna figure out what that is. Tune in next time, everybody. Monday night we're gonna be streaming the college basketball national championship. Tonight I am streaming. I'll watch along for the UFL, and then I won't be there for the Sunday morning game, but I will be there for the Sunday evening game. So it's a long weekend for old Jim. It'll be a great Monday for all of us. We'll see you guys then. Toodaloo. Bye-bye, and we love you.